U.S. stores starting today. This is SRN News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE, 844-45-BIBLE.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Convenience just got an upgrade. Farmers State Bank of Oakley is excited to announce the opening of our brand new ATM along Highway 40, right next to Sonic Drive-In. Whether you're grabbing a snack or on the go, you can quickly access your cash without the detour. It's banking made easy, right where you need it. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio, I'm Connor Schuh. Recently, we got to talk to Jenny Linden and Amber McMurray of the Prairie Museum of Colby about what's going on there, including their Merry Prairie Christmas auction.
Merry Prairie Christmas is our online auction full of wonderful donations from the community. So it's community supported and community led. And it is chock full of holiday decorations, weekend stays, all sorts of gift certificates. We even have a hot water heater. So it's just a little bit of everything for everyone.
It's a variety of wonderful items that have been donated to us
from the community.
And that is going on November 20th through December 4th for those who are interested. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Today will be sunny with west-northwesterly winds 5 to 15 miles per hour, near record highs in the upper 70s. Tonight we'll have clear skies, lows in the low 40s. Tomorrow, record highs likely 80 to 85 with west-southwesterly winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Overnight lows remain mild in the mid-40s. Saturday, cool some into the lower 70s, but still warmer than normal. Winds become breezy from the northwest at 15 to 30 miles per hour, and lows will be in the upper 30s. Sunday, increasing clouds and cooler as a trough sinks in from the north, highs in the 60s, ahead of a Monday cold front dropping highs into the 40s and lows at or below freezing, with some chances for light scattered rain showers. Tuesday, lingering moisture with clouds and potential fog, clearing some in the afternoon with highs in the lower 50s. Wednesday, some sunshine and a quiet weather day in between low pressure systems with highs in the upper 50s. This meteorologist Chris Schromick, the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
This fall, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware has everything you could need. Keep your lawn strong with Ultimate Winterizer, the best defense before the frost. Warm up your evenings and create memories with a new fire pit. Or bring home the flavor with a great selection of grills and smokers from brands like Traeger, Blackstone, Green Egg, and more. And right now, the lumber prices are low, and so are the temperatures, making it the best season to tackle those outdoor projects. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, he's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon, he'll score. Ball game!
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the insurance agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Mitchell walks into a three, nails it, and a foul. Once again, the defense leads to opportunities at the other end, and the lead is ballooned to 15.
Rusher off the edge, hit as he throws. Ball airborne, no whistle yet. Dakota Cochran picks it up. And here he goes for Central Michigan. He breaks a tackle. Cochran down the sideline. One man left. The cut. The end zone. Touchdown, Chippewas. Can you believe it?
Jake looks to get it in. Into Petrie up the left sideline. 60-foot jumper. You betcha! You betcha! A 60-foot miracle from way down under. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Good Thursday morning, everybody. November the 13th, and even though we're wearing coats in studio, I am wearing short pants underneath today. It's going to be 72 degrees.
Oh, God.
72.
No, nope.
I saw Christina posted something on the Facebook page for NWKS Radio, which you should follow if you don't. Great information there all the time. But she said near record highs. I saw the record, or Raleigh was something. The record high today, 79. 79. The record high will be, I think, 72. The expected temperature today. So
we're in there.
A little cool right now. What do you got?
You know what's happening up where I'm from? it was snowing earlier this week.
Well, you're on the water there.
But that's how it should be right now. I'll tell you that.
I understand. And I'm not going to disagree with you a whole lot there. If there's one thing I have learned, I'm guessing the snow is a real wet snow where you live.
It can be very slushy.
My guess is, you want to get this. If you get a big one, you need the snow blower out. You're not going to want to scoop that stuff. It's going to hurt your back.
Oh, yeah. In my family, we scoop it.
Yeah, I know. But I said, if you get a real heavy one, it's going to be hard on the old back. So
we've had plenty of those.
Yeah. We keep heat packs in the house and all that good stuff.
Yes.
But out here on the high plains, not a lot of, knock on wood. I mean, it has happened, but I'm not going to say it never has. But more typically, it is a powdery snow, very powdery. So very dry snow. So you can go out there with a shovel and maybe it's just an inch or two and you can just kind of go, and just
nice and easy.
Nice and easy to move. It's rarely super, super wet and heavy. We've had a couple of those in my time living out here, but not a lot. Usually it's more of a drier, powdery snow. So you'll understand, I think, the first snowstorm. It's going to be not like what you're used to, the heavy, wet slush stuff. But there might be a chance to have one of those throughout the wintertime. But yeah.
I think I prefer the powdery. I mean,
yeah, probably. How much snow has been up there in north central Ohio?
Not in the past couple of years, not much at all, especially being in Columbus for the past couple of years and a little farther from the water. It was pretty dull and snowless winters for the past couple of years. We had like a couple decent snows last year and one the year before, but really there hasn't been as much as there usually is. Like, I remember 10 years ago, like, we had a stretch where I think we had no school for like 2 straight weeks.
Nice.
That was awesome. I was in like 5th grade, ate that up. A lot of sledding.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun for sure. But today, don't expect any snow here on the high plains. Once again, a high of 72 expected today here on the high plains. Right now, cloudy and 47. Tomorrow, by the way, 77 degrees. Another short pant day if you want to rock it. Saturday, 67. Sunday, 65. And we work our way all the way down to the upper 40s by the middle of next week. So a cool down is coming, but these warm temperatures, you want to go outside and rock the t-shirt and short pants, you can go out and get that done.
Go golf.
Yep, you can go golf if you want to. You've got beautiful weather for it. That is for sure. Coming up on today's program, we're going to visit with Brett Clow, West Connect football coach. I can't wait till he joins the show. He had a request for Connor in the program, and so we'll be he wants to talk with Connor about a topic, and so I can't wait to get to this. This will be great.
Sure.
So Brett Clow will join us coming up. West Connect football coach. They're getting set for their next round matchup here coming up on Friday against Ingles. Is that right? I think it's Ingles. Yes. And so we'll talk with him about that matchup coming up here on Friday. And that ought to be a really interesting game. And they're trailing them. And once again, there was a great story on, there was a great post on Sports in Kansas about, Wallace County, the county, having 2 football teams in the postseason and, being one of the more least populated counties in the state, yet they still have 2 football teams that are live in the postseason. It was a neat little write-up they had there on Sports in Kansas. But Brett Clow will join us coming up today. We'll get to some recruiting news. Kansas basketball with 2 massive recruits signing the early letter of intent yesterday. We'll tell you about that. There's some college basketball tonight as well. There's a massive game tonight between the Big Ten and the SEC. We'll get to that coming up in the program as well. And we have the NFL Power 5 coming up here in just a little bit too. Before we start the NFL Power 5, though, I did want to mention, I did see yesterday, that Colby Community College volleyball, unfortunately, did not make the cut for the NJCAA National Tournament in Clarksville, Tennessee. There were 16 teams selected. They were not one of them. They did not make the cut. Went 24-7 on the season, 14-2 in Region 6. But did not make the cut this year. Last year, of course, the amazing run all the way to the Final Four, ended up finishing in 3rd. They beat Barton in that 3rd-place match. This year, the Barton Cougars, because they won Region 6 or the High Plains Division, or they call it the Northern Plains League or whatever, not the league, but the division.
The Jayhawk Conference,
It's the Jayhawk Conference, but then they call it the Jayhawk Conference, but the NJCAA calls it like the North Plains district or something like that. I swear, look it up. I swear. And so the North, so they didn't win their own district or Region 6 is what most of us call it. They didn't win Region 6 at Colby, which left them hanging in the balance on whether they'd make the cut or not. They did not.
I was surprised.
I was a little bit too. I thought they'd be there too, but 24-7 needed to probably be more like 5-5, maybe something along those lines. I don't know. I was going to look and see right now just at their schedule real quickly, just kind of glance at this real fast at some of the losses this year for CCC and which ones maybe hurt them a little bit. You know, Northeastern and Laramie County were both, I believe, ranked teams. Northeastern's in the national tournament, by the way. They made it. Laramie County did not, from what I saw.
Seward was a tough one.
Seward, yeah, that loss to Seward probably stung a little bit. One you'd like to have back. I don't know. I don't know if New Mexico Military Institute or Odessa College made it. There was a couple of losses earlier in the season. That Seward County one, you're exactly right, hurt. Yeah, that's. I mean, my guess is they were probably one of the first one or two out. You know, like on the bubble.
Had to be.
You wear like one or two on the bubble, but Colby College volleyball did not make it.
Let's get some bracketology for that.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. You're tag. You're it. You go do the bracketology for the NJCAA volleyball tournament.
It's a little late.
Yeah, a little late for that. But once again, the unfortunate news, Colby Community College volleyball, despite going 24-7 and finishing 14-2 in conference play, will not have their season continue in the NJCAA national tournament in Tennessee. Their season is done. Still a great year. And once again, a lot of great success. Once again, with the we talked about it, I think earlier, like last week we talked about, actually it was this week we talked about, because Croner was correctly correcting my pronunciations on the names, but they had a Region 6, I think, player of the year, which was really big. They had, I think, one second teamer and 3 other first teamers, along with Amanda Caputi. I don't even know if I say that right. You said that right? Is it?
Amanda Caputi.
Yeah. So, so she was the player of the year in Region 6 or in the Jayhawk Conference, and then had 3 first team selections and then had 1 second team honor. But yeah, that was, I'm sure that was a little heartbreaking for CCC not making the cut to make it to the NJCAA national tournament for the 2nd consecutive year. But that's the way the cookie crumbles some days. All right, there you go. Just want to get that out there. The Colby Community College volleyball not making not their postseason run, or their season will not continue. It is now officially done. All right, let's get into it. It is week number 11 in the NFL, and it's time for the Power 5. It's an okay slate. Pretty good games. Some pretty good top-heavy games in this slate here. What do you got to get us going here today?
I really like this slate, honestly.
It's got some really good ones. It really does.
I have an honorable mention as kind of just a goofy division game. Ravens at Browns. I think anything could happen there. You're playing in the dog pound. Things can get a little rowdy there. And the Ravens are just coming back with Lamar. And granted, they've looked pretty good with him to this point. But, can they keep the ball rolling and catch the Steelers in the division? I think they definitely can. But with the Browns, I mean, they like to find ways to lose consistently, but the defense remains pretty good. So I think they can get into any game.
It gets interesting because, like you said, that an AFC North, it's just completely wide open. The question is, can Cleveland get enough offense against a Ravens team that is surging right now? Let's just face the facts. I mean, who would have, like I think I said this on Monday, who would have thought that the Ravens, who started off with 2 wins to begin the season?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think there's a stat out there that says, any team that starts with 2 wins never makes the postseason or something like that. I don't know. The way the division is in the AFC North, and the way the Ravens are looking as they get healthier, I don't know. That stat might be changing.
I could see it because especially Lamar changes their team so much. They are just different when he's on the field.
I think they honestly probably could have salvaged a game or two if they would have just started Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, because
he's just more like Lamar, like you said.
He fits with the system way more than Cooper Rush did. That's for sure. He was rough.
It's almost like Harbaugh lost a bet. Like, I bet you can't win without Cooper Rush. You want to bet that? I'll bet we can win with Cooper Rush.
He won some games backing up Dak back in the day.
But you're exactly right. It doesn't fit the system. I know.
No, much more like Dak than Lamar.
Anyway, I don't actually have an honorable mention game, but I think my top 5 is pretty good. So you mind if I just dive into the top 5?
Go right ahead.
Here we go.
Number 5.
I'm going to go with another AFC North matchup, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, as my number 5 game. I like this game because remember the last time they played on Thursday Night Football a few weeks back? Yes. Joe Flacco, it was his first start for Cincinnati after just being signed a couple days and threw for like 300 yards and multiple touchdowns.
He was pretty good.
And then you had Aaron Rodgers out there. He had a Hail Mary at the end to see if they could win it at the gun. They didn't. Cincinnati batted down. They got the win, I think, if I remember correctly. Pat Freiermuth went off for like 200 yards receiving in that game and 2 touchdowns, and he was on my bench in fantasy. That was not fun, but I remember that.
Well, you're not going to start Pat Freiermuth.
No, I mean, actually, I think I'm starting him this week because I might start him this week.
Here's the line.
Evan Ingram has not performed well.
It's true. He had 111 yards and 2 touchdowns that game.
Yeah, it was nuts. This is his best performance of the season by a long ways. But it's a lot like you said, Ravens and Browns. It's a rivalry game within the division. Both these teams are playing well. Joe Burrow, by the way, looks like he's getting back to practice, so he has a 3-week window here to possibly get back and play for Cincinnati. But Joe Flacco may not let him have the job back. He's been playing pretty darn good. I say that facetiously. But anyway, I don't know. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, interesting game. Every team in the AFC, even including your lowly Browns, have a chance in this division if they could put it together.
They don't have a chance. They absolutely don't.
If a miracle happened and the Browns found some offensive consistency, they might have a chance.
Stefanski keeps insisting that Dylan Gabriel starts at quarterback. He said it right after the game last week. We're not going anywhere.
Anyway, number 5, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, my number 5 game in the NFL Power 5. What do you have?
I got Bears Vikings right here. That's a good division matchup for me because the NFC North is, talk about wide open. I think it's more wide open than the AFC North. I mean, all 4 teams are within a couple games of each other, and it gets shaken up even more after the Packers just lost on Monday Night Football. So Minnesota's 4-5, and Chicago is 6-3, tied for the division lead with Detroit. So it's really anyone's game. Caleb Williams has been playing pretty well recently, more like that number 1 pick that he was. And the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy is still figuring it out, but they still have a pretty good defense, and they kind of need to figure out their running back room. Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, those two haven't really been getting it done too much lately. So I think this is almost a must win for the Vikings. If they don't win this one, they're really kind of behind the 8 ball against the other 3 teams in their division. But if they get a win here, I think they're in a decent spot, I'd say.
Love that game too. Like you said, it's a good slate. Got a lot of interesting games, and that certainly is one of them. Pushing on to
number 4.
I've got the Bills at the Buccaneers. I think this is Bills at Bucks, or is it Bucks at Bills?
Bucks at Bills.
Bucks at Bills. What a great quarterback matchup. The Bills need something. I mean, they've got to find something. They are embarrassed. They just got beat by the lowly Dolphins, and they not just got beat, they got trounced. The Buccaneers, though, have 2 losses in their last 3 games against 2 very high-quality opponents, the Lions and the Patriots. And so can the magic of Baker Mayfield return this week, going up against Josh Allen and the Bills? Both these teams need a win. They desperately need a win. The Buccaneers are 6-3. The Bills are 6-3. Both teams could really use a win. Bills are 5.5-point favorites at home. I got to think they're going to be extra inspired to get this win. We'll see if it happens. But once again, does Baker Mayfield have the Mayfield magic that comes out and shows again? Bucks and Bills, my number 4 game in the NFL Power 5 this week.
You know, you got me there because that's also my number 4. It's a great game. I mean, one of the few pretty good non-divisional games we have this week, but Josh Allen, he really stunk it up last week against the Dolphins. I don't know what that was, but just really uncharacteristic.
Run he had for a first down on 4th down or something. He ran for 10 yards and then got stripped and fumbled the ball. I mean, it was bad.
Nothing could go right for him. I almost felt bad, but that game happened, and that's just not what you're looking for from the Bills. But they've probably got a fire lit under their butt, and they want to win badly, and they kind of need to win against a Buccaneers team that's trying to get all the wins they can get to stay at the top of their division. So, yeah, I'll keep that short. You hit on some good points on it. That's a good game.
I'm wondering if we're going to be in step 3 the rest of the way.
Number 3.
Number 3, I'm going Kansas City at Denver. The AFC West, the game that a lot of us will be talking about around the water coolers this week, the Broncos and the Chiefs. I was already visiting with, actually, it's my daughter's teacher. She's a humongous Broncos fan, and she goes, "This is the big one. This is the big one."
It is.
And so it is a big one. Golly, there's been stories out about Bo Nix. How is he eluding the negativity surrounding his play? All that stuff, because it hasn't been good. The Broncos, I'm curious. Like, we know what the Broncos offense can do. We know, we've seen it in spurts. Can they do it for an entire ball game? I don't know if they can. They haven't proven it really yet. And Kansas City's back is against the wall. Like, they can't really afford to lose a whole lot more games the rest of this season if they, A, want to make the playoffs, and B, want to try and win the division, which I still think is going to be a stretch. But to make the playoffs, which is more important, they need to start winning games. Kansas City is going to be desperate to win on the road. It's going to be a hostile environment there in Denver. The Broncos defense has been great. The Chiefs defense has been great. I don't know. I think we could see a lower scoring game, but I don't know. I don't feel great if I'm a Denver fan. There's nothing about this offense on a consistent basis that has proven that we're going to score a lot of points, particularly against a really good Kansas City team. So Chiefs at Broncos. Big rivalry game. Should be a dandy of a game. But I wouldn't feel great if I'm a Denver Broncos fan for whatever reason. That's my number 3 game.
And you got me. That's also my number 3. And I agree, the Broncos won last week, but it wasn't very inspiring against the Raiders. I mean, they scored 10 points and barely got that one. If any of those Raiders receivers could catch a pass, I mean, the Raiders would have had that one easily, because Bo Nix he didn't really look too good. And even in the win the week before against Houston, they didn't look all that great. And then, I mean, the Chiefs haven't been looking great either. I mean, they had the bye week to kind of recuperate, but that Bills game was kind of brutal. Patty didn't look his best. So I don't know. I have a feeling the Chiefs are probably going to bounce back after Patrick.
Let's also remember that Andy Reid is unbeaten, or his record is ridiculously great coming off of a bye.
Yeah.
Like,
so
he doesn't lose coming off of a bye. So I'd feel really bad if I'm a Broncos fan based upon that stat and some other things that I've seen. So I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be people lighting up the EpiBank text line with some thoughts on that. Michael, of course, our resident Bronco fanatic, he goes, "I feel great about this game. It's going to be a slobber knocker." Probably true. Like I said, I mean, if there's one thing you got to give the Broncos credit for, and the Chiefs did this last year, they won a lot of very close games, and the Broncos have won a lot of very close games. So if it's close, maybe it's the Broncos that prevail this year, where the Chiefs have not won the close games this year. Very interesting storylines on both sides, and a very intriguing game, Chiefs and Broncos. Number 3 on our NFL Power 5.
Number 2.
This is where we may differ. We'll see. I'm going Seattle at LA for the Rams, my number 2 game this week. By the way, great game. Both teams are 7-2 at this point in time on the season. A very, very, very interesting football game coming up in the NFC West. Can you believe what we've seen from Matthew Stafford through this point in time? I mean, the guy's, isn't he 40 or 39?
He's 39. He's up there.
But 25 touchdowns and just 2 picks with over 2,400 yards passing. Sam Darnold, the resurrection of his career continues. He's got solid numbers, 17 touchdowns and 6 picks. But the Seahawks have played amazing good defense behind their head coach, Mike McDonald, and the Rams have a solid defense. In fact, these are two top 5 defenses when it comes to points per game allowed. The Seahawks are number 5, and the Rams are number 2 in the league, and they're both top 5 offenses. The Rams are 5th in points per game. The Seahawks are 3rd in points per game, over 30 points per game. So the Seahawks are putting up points and shutting people down, and so are the Rams. This is going to be a fascinating game between the Rams and the Seahawks. And once again, in this division, it's very important because this is a tie at the top. Right now, Seattle has a slight advantage because they're 2-1 in the division. Rams could take the lead with a win in this one. Both teams have won 4 in a row. Woo-hoo! This is a good one, a real good one. Seattle and Rams.
I agree. But my number 2 is a potential NFC championship matchup. I think this is the Lions and the Eagles. This one's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, Goff and those Lions have just been rolling, and they're sitting at the top of the NFC North. They just beat up on the Commanders without Jaden Daniels after that tough, close loss to the Vikings. And the Eagles, I really don't know what to make of them. They beat the Packers on Monday Night Football, but not in a very inspiring fashion. So we'll see if their offense can wake up a little more against the Lions, who have been good, but they haven't been the greatest. They still have a solid defense, but man, it's hard to stop that offense. And then the Eagles, their strength comes with their defense. So this is a battle of two different styles here. So I think this could end up, it's going to be a close game, I think, unless something miraculous happens. But I like this game a lot. Again, this could be an NFC championship preview. We'll see.
Number 1.
Well, that's why it's my number 1 game. I think it is going to be an NFC championship preview. Both these teams, I mean, it's amazing. The Eagles offensively have looked very, very pedestrian most of the season. They have not looked good. That showed, of course, in their 10-7 win at Green Bay, albeit be it against a very good Packers defense. But the Lions, Dan Campbell said, I don't like where the offense is going. And so instead of just kind of watching over the offensive coordinator or being in the meetings and kind of just said, I'm just going to take over the play calling duties. And what do? They go out there and they rack up 44 points last week. If the Lions offense gets rolling like we've seen in the past and defensively they can play solid, the Lions, I made a prediction. I thought they would be a Super Bowl contending team, a team that would go to the Super Bowl this year. They still can do that. They have all the pieces. Offensively, they are loaded. Defensively, they've got to work out a few more things, but if they remain healthy, they're going to be in a good spot, which has been a problem, is health. This Eagles offense does not scare me. I think the Lions have a good chance of winning this game on the road in Philly. I really, really do. But this is going to be a great one on Sunday Night Football. Lions, Eagles. Oh, that's a good one.
It really is. And then my number 1, of course, is Seattle at Los Angeles, the Rams. If I'm not mistaken, these are the only 2 teams in football that have both a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense in terms of scoring. LA has number 5 offense, number 2 defense. And then on the other side, the Seahawks have the number 3 offense and the number 5 defense. So this is just good on good on both sides of the football. These 2 teams have looked awesome this year. And frankly, I just enjoy watching these 2 quarterbacks play more than Jalen Hurts just trying to pound it over his offensive line for a first down or a touchdown. So I think this is just going to be generally a more entertaining game. And it's a division matchup too. These 2 teams are tied at the top, like you said. So this is going to be a lot of fun. My eyes will be glued to this one.
Playmakers all over the field in that game too. Jackson Smith and Jigba for Seattle. Puka Nacua out there with also Devonta Adams, who by the way leads the league in receiving touchdowns.
I don't know how I didn't mention this. This is the Cooper Kupp homecoming too.
Oh yeah.
He's playing against the Rams for the first time. So there you go. Another
big numbers for 10. Look out. Could be big numbers for 10. There you go. The NFL Power 5 here, week number 11 in the NFL season. By the way, it gets going tonight with Thursday Night Football. That would be, what is it? Jets at Patriots?
Yeah.
Ugh. Don't know how great that's going to be.
I'll watch for Travion Henderson.
There you go. Well, we'll see. The Jets have won 2 in a row. Can they keep that going? Boy, if they win 3 in a row by knocking off the Patriots, who are super hot right now, what a storyline that would be. They're cool. The back page of the New York Post would be lighting up with all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back. Brett Cloud joins us next from Weskin. That's next in the Blitz.
We've been serving ag families for generations because we believe farming isn't just a job, it's a legacy. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your operation, F&B Bank has flexible lending solutions designed for you. This is Loan Officer Kennedy Frank at F&B Bank. We're proud to be your hometown ag lender, member FDIC.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, Jared Ball with the Andersons, Overland Park, Kansas, with your morning market update. It's Thursday, November 13th, in the overnight session. Beef corn up 1 at 4.36 March down 1/4% at 4.49. May down 1/4% at 4.57. Beef at 26 down 1 at 4.69. Soybeans on the January up 7 3/4 at 11.41.5. March up 7 at 11.51. KC wheat on the December down 1.5 at 5.24. March down 1.5 at 5.40 1/4. May down 2 at 5.52.5. July down 1 3/4 at 5.66 1/4. Chicago wheat down 1 3/4 at 5.34 1/4. Feeder cattle finished 339.02.5. Live cattle 225.27.5. Lean hogs 80.62.5. Crude oil futures up 64 cents a barrel at 59.13. Gold futures up 22 an ounce at 4,235.30. Silver either side of unchanged at 53.47.5. U.S. dollar index down 20 points at 99.17. Dow futures down 127 at 48,242. S&P futures down 24 at 6,852. Need to move any cash grain and want to talk about risk management, you can reach out to myself, Jared Ball, Tom Sitter, or Tyler Gresham, 913-748-3000. If you're out in Colorado, you can reach out to John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4484.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
At CHS, we know what it takes to feed and fuel the world, to integrate a global ag and energy supply chain, to advocate for farmers in their fields and around the world, to build communities, invest in rural America, and empower rural economies. It takes courage, conviction, commitment. It takes the nation's leading farmer-owned cooperative. It takes a co-op. It takes CHS.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides
All right, about 20 minutes till the top of the hour here on this Thursday, November the 13th. Once again, going to be approaching record highs, temperatures in the low 70s today as we make our way through another and even a warmer day on Friday. Unseasonably warm. That will not feel like playoff football, which is what the Weskin Coyotes will be playing in. They've got playoff football coming up on Friday. We're pleased to be joined by their head coach, Brett Clough. I got to read this text message. So I texted Coach Clough yesterday. And I said, I said, would you be able to do the show? He goes, sure can. Can Connor and I have a minute to discuss the misery of being a Cleveland sports fan?
Oh,
so Brett
man.
Clough, take the floor, my friend. You have time to get your problems out about Cleveland sports.
Well, I guess I just wanted to lament with Connor, and I am impressed of just his admission on air to dive into Cleveland sports and admit that openly. I've tried to keep my fandom like kind of hidden, but I'm going to step out and join you, Connor, and admit that I am a Cleveland sports fan with you. I didn't catch when you first joined the show, so when we talked the first time, and then I kind of caught a few shows after that, and was like, man, I think this guy is from up in Cleveland, because nobody chooses to be a Cleveland sports fan. You're just kind of like born into that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've got family up east of Cleveland, Chardon, Ohio, and kind of around that area. So,
wow. Okay.
Even though I was born and raised in Texas, I was stuck with Ohio sports. The only thing we got going for us is Ohio State. I don't know if that's your team, but
oh yeah,
the Browns, the Guardians. It's just been a rough, long road.
It has been. It's good to hear someone else likes Cleveland sports around here. Someone that can relate to seeing Corey Coleman drop that pass back in 2017 to go 0-16. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys sit there and balk about this, and yet you have you're both Ohio State fans, and you guys are reigning national champs. They're on your way to
up for it.
National championship. Yeah, geez. Way to go.
That's all we got, right?
Oh, it ain't.
Yeah, come on.
There's people that have way less than that.
Well, the Cavs are good.
I just wanted to give Connor somebody else in Western Kansas, just kind of make it feel a little bit like home. And if he needs to, talk through it and share some misery, I'm always there with him. And I think as Cleveland sports fans, we're always like allowed a backup team. And so I in the NFL, like I'm always, I can root for the Broncos whenever I want, or, I sometimes root for the Packers, but because the Browns are usually out of it by like week 3.
This is true. I appreciate it.
Brett Clow, our guest, Wescan head football coach, and apparently a lamenting Cleveland sports fan at this point in time is what he is. But him and Connor will get along great. Well, I mean, even though your Cleveland sports may stink, the team that you coach has not been that way. I mean, after losing the first game of the season, which we talked about with you prior, you guys have rattled off consecutive wins, including last week versus Moscow. Walk us through that win last week over Moscow, that convincing 62-12 win. What did you like about that performance from your guys?
Yeah, it was just a weird game, and I guess it took me a little bit. I kind of found myself irritated for a decent chunk of the game, and as I rattle off some stats to you, I think it might make a little bit of sense. But Moscow snapped the ball 45 times on offense, and we ran 12 offensive plays. They held the ball for like 22 or 23 minutes of the game out of like 27 total minutes. The game ended late third. And so like I just kind of felt frustrated, but I call the offense, and so I think more of my frustration was just like never finding a rhythm offensively. But I was just kind of talking to our coaches during the game, like, gosh, this feels weird. They had a great game plan. They milked the clock. Usually, I read those stats off, and that doesn't end up in a 62-12 victory for the team that has, less time of possession, less snaps. But we scored 3 defensive touchdowns. We took a fumble back, 2 interceptions. We returned a kickoff, and then we were just, highly efficient on offense. And so, again, during the game and immediately after, I thought, golly, that just felt weird and kind of frustrating. Looking back at the film and kind of watching our guys play defense, it was encouraging just to see us run around and do what we have done consistently this season.
And you kind of said it, but is it encouraging that when maybe you're not too satisfied with your team's performance on offense, you can still win by 50?
Yeah, super encouraging. And we, even though 6-man lends itself to being an offensive game, we take a lot of pride in our defense. We focus on it. We spend probably, if I would guess, 75% of our time during the week focusing on defense, because it's just critical. It's critical to get stops and create turnovers and make it hard. We want to try to get teams set back in 2nd and long, 3rd and long, so that we can maybe run some games and make it confusing. And so, yeah, I take a lot of pride in our defense. We have athletic kids just all over the field, and if they can create turnovers, then there's obviously a good chance for us to turn those into points.
Weskin head football coach Brett Clough. I want to have you repeat a stat. You said you guys ran 12 offensive plays?
Yes, sir.
12 and got 62 points. How many defensive touchdowns or points were scored in that game?
So, yeah, we scored 3 defensive touchdowns, and we had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, man, to only run 12 plays and have 62 points, that's called efficiency right there. Efficiency.
Yeah.
But I understand how you'd be mad you couldn't get into a rhythm. I want to transition. You were talking about the defense there, and you said you take a lot of pride in your defensive preparation. In six-man football, there's a lot of space to cover with only 6 guys. So when you're working on your defensive preparation, what are you guys focusing on in practice? Because like you said, your defense has been elite this year. 5 games of shutouts. There was a 6-point game, a 15-point game, a 12-point game. You guys have shut out pretty much everybody that you have beaten this year. Pretty close. How do you go about doing that in a game where there was so much space? I mean, we saw last week in an 8-man game, Frankfurt beat a squad like it was like 84-74. So how do you go about in a 6-man game where there's so much space to make defense such a priority, and how do you practice that to become real good at it?
Well, I think it starts with just the kids that we have. We're athletic. We are smart kids, so we can actually show different looks to offenses. We often don't line up in the same defensive formation. We blitz a decent amount from different areas. And so when you have kids like that we have, it just allows you to be very versatile. Our defensive coordinator, Josh Schottle's been coaching with me for, I think this is 10 seasons. And we just learned little nuances of the game that, again, nothing's perfect. And really, as we prepare for offenses, it really is dictated on what they want to do. We talk about this all the time, and we have versatility within our players that we can match up. If a team is run heavy, if the team wants to spread you out, we can try to match up that way. In 6-man, I think inevitably there's going to be areas of the field. You can't cover everything, especially if there's an athletic quarterback and you're trying to get pressure on him. But you have to be willing to give things up. We really just focus on what does this team want to do. Let's try to take that away and see if they can beat us with, some of their secondary formation, if a team wants to run the ball, we're going to try to force them into their passing game and vice versa. And, we just try to throw a lot of things at teams that they might not be ready for.
I would think that open field, one-on-one tackling is something that you have to drill a lot. Am I right in that?
It's pretty critical, and I get to ask that question a lot, and we actually don't. Probably more of just trying to keep our kids healthy. I think really more of it is just putting the right kids in the right spots and trusting that they're going to make those plays. We've seen where we have missed, and it becomes a big play. Luckily, we've got pretty good athletes to go maybe help out, go recover, go make a 20-yard tackle. And we talk about this all the time. Our hustle and our effort on defense, if we can just keep making teams snap the ball, I think good things will happen for us while we're on defense.
Brett Clough is our guest, Weskin head football coach, joining us on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline on this Thursday morning. They take on Ingles coming up here Friday down in Weskin. We talked about the first round playoff game. What's it like to get these multiple home playoff games and not have to travel anywhere?
It's such a huge thing for our boys and for our community. We went on this run last year where just how the playoffs laid out, we got 3 home playoff games, and I just was blown away by the end of that of just kind of how our community rallied around our boys. And November football, there's just nothing like it. And so to kind of look here, we got a home game against Moscow. I was actually wrong in my projection. I thought we were going to be going to Ingles. And then I was kind of surprised Friday night after the game that Keisha listed it at Weskin. So I was, as the AD, I was kind of scrambling around trying to make sure we were ready to go. But just a huge thing for our kids. We've kind of created this little moniker, and this comes out of last year. And this is kind of a nod to 6-man football, but we had such a cool home environment that, and my wife actually thought of this, just kind of spitballing an idea, but we've kind of created this idea of our crowd and being in Weston and the home of the seventh man. And so, you know, sixth man starting in Kansas here in Weston, and you've got the 12th man, you've got, you know, the sixth man in basketball, but I've never heard it before. She kind of popped that off as a joke, and I was like, man, that's actually awesome. And so we've kind of got this thing trying to roll here, but just trying to pump our community up and that they matter, that the support they provide matters. And just such a cool environment. I feel this, and our boys believe this, that they would rather play nowhere else than Weston, Kansas. And just the environment that happens here in November is really special.
Tell us about Ingles. This is a really good football team you're facing here on Friday night, 8-1. Their lone loss coming to a very good South Barber team who's by only 4 points. What's the scout on this Ingles team? What do they bring to the table, and how big of a challenge are they?
Very challenging. They do a lot of stuff. They have a lot of versatility within their offense. I think they hang on a second. I'm sorry. I've got morning announcements coming up over top of me. I've got to step out here for half a second. Hopefully I don't lose you.
You're all right.
But, yeah, I'm sorry. So, yeah, Ingles just provides just a lot of challenges. They are very athletic. They're a physical team. Last year when we were preparing for them, they had this really good running back, a big offensive line, but I think they were very committed to running the football, and there wasn't a whole lot of crazy scheme that they ran. So we kind of were able to be really aggressive. I think this year's version of Ingles, they have a little bit more balance. They have a good quarterback. They show a lot of different formations on offense. And so it's just been a probably as much of a mental week this week for us as physical. And it's going to have to continue to be that way as we go into Friday. And then defensively, they are, again, 6 really good athletes. They are aggressive. They run to the football, and they make you stay very patient. And so the challenge, I think, when we go into a game like this is plays that have worked for us this whole season that have turned into 20, 30-yard plays, even touchdowns. On Friday, they might be a 5-yard game. And I think we've got to be okay with that. We can't hit the panic button, me as a coach and then our players. We've just got to be consistent. We've got to just trust that as the game goes, those 5-yard plays turn into 10, 15, and longer plays for us.
One more quick one for you, Brett, and we'll let you go. But getting to this point in time, you know, in the postseason, you know, how much of a jump up is it, you know, in competition, in competitive games and things like that? And how prepared do you feel like your team is for that jump up?
Yeah, I think this week across the state, all levels, I think there are good teams everywhere. And so it feels like this sectional round, kind of the competition for everybody ramps up. And so we've talked all season about, and since I've been here, it's just embracing good competition. We look forward to these type of games. Not that, you know, every game we look forward to, but there's no faking it. Like the energy and the competition level ramps up here in November. Last year, our boys rose up to that challenge. I'm excited to see if these guys, if this group, this version of Weston can do it here in 2025. But I don't know if you ever, the old John Wooden, like what they call the pyramid of success. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yep.
We talk about that as a team of just this idea of competitive greatness, and there's all these pillars within that pyramid. It's a really cool kind of picture, and we've shared that with our team of when the moment calls for it, like your best is required, can you go deliver that? And there's all these foundational principles of just, you know, are you prepared? Do you have unity within your team? Are you cohesive? And you know, all of these things leading up to when the moment's there, all of your habits, all of your practice habits, your mental energy as far as staying focused can help you deliver in those moments. So we feel like we're prepared, but that's the beauty of playoff football is, you know, it's one shot, one game, and we hope we go play our best.
Brett, thank you so much for spending some extra time with us today. Really appreciate it. Best luck to you and your guys here on Friday against Ingles.
Thank you very much.
Once again, great stuff there from Brett Clow, Weskin head football coach and Cleveland sports fan on top of that as well.
Go Browns.
So anyway, we'll take our final break, come back and wrap things up here on the Morning Blitz on a Thursday.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. NWKS Radio.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the time as always.
To the buyer. For details, text Sherman to 785-460-0790 or call Terry Richardson at Homestead Realty and Auction.
This is Danny Zweigert with the Schooler Company. The holiday season is upon us, and we want to wish you all the happiest of holidays. Have grain that needs moved or need help creating a marketing plan? Give us a call today at 785-890-3639. Happy holidays from Schooler.
Drivers, get your cars ready this winter for the 2026 Oakley Demo Derby with $40,000 plus in payout. New date, 2 nights this year, July 24th and 25th. Contact Chase Smallreen in Oakley for the annual Great Close Memorial Demolition Derby in Oakley.
You're listening to the High Plains only local sports talk show.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The Morning Blitz.
It's like deja vu from a year ago. Weskin and Ingalls met in Weskin a whole year ago. Same exact Friday night. Weskin got the win 57-12, but we see it happen again here on Friday as the Bulldogs and the Coyotes meet there. And we'll see who advances on. Definitely, like I said, they had a really challenging game and then a loss against Otis, Colorado starting, begin the season. Then they've just rolled through everybody. And I always ask coaches, when you're not in a tussle really the rest of the season, and then you get into a tussle, how are your guys ready for that? Not saying that they will be in a tussle, but there could be a chance.
Got to be tested.
So we interested to see what it looks like. But big game going on. One of two teams in action here on Friday. Weskin hosting Ingalls. And, of course, cannot forget about just down the road to the east. Wallace County will play host to Hodgman County. 2 playoff football games in the same county this late in the postseason. Pretty darn cool to see out here in the High Plains. Before we get to the walk-off, Kansas basketball yesterday, a couple of big recruiting wins for Bill Self. It was kind of expected. He signed the number 1 ranked point guard, 5-star Taylon Kinney, who averages 20 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds for his overtime elite crew. Very, very talented. And then also getting signed was Trent Perry, 6'5" guard/forward from Link Academy. Number 77 ranked player by ESPN, has a 7'2" wingspan.
13 points. 7'2" wingspan.
Yeah, he's got to have some long arms. I mean, does it hang down to his shins? I mean, that's pretty. You think about that. I mean,
it's like Wemby arms.
Kind of, yeah. But 13 points, 6 boards, 3 steals is what he averaged at Lone Star High School. But 2 big signings there yesterday for Kansas men's basketball. And a little bit of college hoops tonight. Doubleheader of hoops inside Bramlage Coliseum. You got K-State women, followed by the K-State men. Women take on South Dakota. Men will face Cal. Big-time test for K-State right out of the gates.
Good game.
Can you imagine if Kansas State loses this game tonight? Oh, my gosh.
I don't think it would be the end of the world. But
I don't know. I think it might
wouldn't. It wouldn't be good. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's a team I think they should beat. But, yeah.
Cal, once again, is like the junior college Division I program. They get great players for their freshman year, and they're gone. Peja Stojakovic's kid played at Cal last year. He's now at Illinois.
He was really good the other night against Texas Tech.
So anyway, those games on today at Bramlett. You can catch the men's game on 100 through the ride beginning. Tip-off is at 8 Central, 7 Mountain Time. You can watch it on the CBS Sports Network. Also tonight, home opener for the Fort Hays Tech Northwest women. They host Northeastern, a team they lost to by 40 just a couple days ago. That's on tap for tonight. So there you go, some college basketball.
Yeah. Some more. You got to mention Purdue, Alabama as well.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me.
Number
Yes.
2, number 8.
Big time game. Who you got in that one?
Oh, I've got Bama by a hair.
Bama by a hair. We'll see. That's going to be a great one, though. Bama and Purdue. Humongous game tonight. SEC Big Ten. Tell you, it's a huge game, and I'll tell you why in the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off Brady? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
The reason why it's a humongous game in my mind is because when we get to the end of the season, they do this thing like, well, which conference is better, the Big Ten or the SEC? And it comes down to who beat who. So if the Big Ten wins a game on the road in SEC country, that's going to have a lot of weight. Vice versa, if the SEC beats the Big Ten in this game, and there's other matchups throughout the course of the season that happen that are not just Alabama, Purdue. But it's one of these games where it can go back and say, well, geez, look, they beat Bama, or they didn't. They lost to Bama. It's a huge game, really big.
Either team, you could say they need this win almost.
Well, it's great. And the league's definitely in there. Did you see the stat line for Notre Dame junior guard Hannah Hidalgo last night?
What? She had like 44, bunch of rebounds. I think she had double-digit steals, right?
An absolutely ridiculous performance. NCAA record, 16 steals.
Yeah.
School record, 44 points in their win over Akron last night.
Oh, the 16
16 of 25 shots. She only played 28 minutes. She had 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Jeez.
Wow. That's she can play. I remember hearing her name a lot last year.
Absolutely nuts, but what a showing from Hannah Hidalgo. Anything else on the walk-off you got to get off your chest today?
Shout out to my good friend Tyler Danberg. He's calling Ohio State women's basketball tonight on Learfield. I will be listening to that.
Good luck, Tyler. Good luck. All right, that does it for the program. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. See you back here tomorrow on a Friday for the Morning Blitz.
Classic rock plays here.